Hey guys, this is Sterling with Revolution Off-Road. Today we're going to be doing an overview video on the Deviant Race Parts High Clearance Radius Rod Kit. They have these available for your 2014 and up XP 1000, as well as your 16 and up XP Turbo. The kit we have here is their full kit with their lower rods and their upper rods, and then we also have a kit available that has just the lower rods also. So we'll go through the parts of this kit. We'll start with the joints. The joints are a 4130 heat-treated chromoly joint. The radius rods themselves are a 1 1/4 inch seamless DOM tubing with a durable powder coat finish on them. Your spacers here for your Heim joints, these are a stainless steel spacers, so you don't have to worry about them rusting or corroding or anything like that. And one really nice thing about the Deviant Race Part kit is that it comes with a bunch of these little O-rings. These O-rings are cool because with a Heim joint and a steel spacer, it's not uncommon to get a little bit of a squeak inside there as your suspension moves. So what these O-rings do is they go in between your spacer and your Heim joint. And so when you do get that rock back and forth inside your joint, it's gonna hit that O-ring before you have a metal on metal contact. So that's gonna alleviate any squeak, rattle, anything like that that you would normally see with a Heim joint radius rod. Another key feature to these radius rods is the fact that they are right and left hand threaded. So what that means is one of your ends is gonna have a right hand thread, one of your joints is gonna have a left hand thread. Where that benefits you is making adjustments on the car. So if you put it all back together and you realize that your camber's off, whether it's in or out, you don't have to disassemble the radius rods to be able to make your adjustments. What you'll do is you'll take your measurements, figure out how far you need to go, and then you can actually twist your upper radius rod either to make it a little longer or a little shorter, whatever you're needing to make sure that your camber's set correctly. So today we're going to be installing the full radius rod kit on my personal 2018 XP Turbo 4-seater. Before we started this video, we called Chris Roskop at Deviant Race Parts and asked him how long it should take to install this. And he told me that any decent mechanic should take them an hour and a half or so. Well, I'm definitely no mechanic, so let's see how long it takes the average Joe to do this install. So we've removed the 18 millimeter top radius rod bolt from the hub here. We've also removed the top bolt from the frame. This is pretty simple. It's just going to slide right out. Hold on to this. Make sure you know which rods are which, because you're going to end up using these, assuming that they're not bent, you're going to end up using these to set the length on your new rods. Remember that these are left and right-handed joints. So you're gonna have 4 that are a left-hand thread and 4 that are a right-hand thread. And each radius rod is gonna take 1 of each. So to set your radius rod length, you're gonna take your factory radius rod, assuming that it's not bent. The best way that I've found to do it is you're gonna put your bolt through here with a couple of spacers. You're going to put it through both your new rod and your old rod. Get them lined up as absolute best as you can. You're then going to move to your other side. You'll notice here that we're a little bit long on this side. So we're going to take this radius rod, or this joint, we're going to thread it in to where we are as absolutely close to the center of the old rod as possible. So we're going to call that good. We'll set this one aside and we're going to set up the lower rod. You're going to set up the lower rod the exact same way that you set up the upper rod. So when you go to install the new radius rods, you're going to want to start with the lower rod. You're going to want to start with the inner radius rod. We talked earlier about there being a thicker spacer and a thinner spacer. On this kit, you're going to use 2 thicker spacers for your inner, and then you're going to use 2 of the thinners on your outer radius rod end. So on this top one, I'm not getting it tight, I'm just getting it slightly snug. So once you have everything put together, that's when you'll go through and do your final tighten on everything. So what we're doing here is a rough camber adjustment. Now how I've been taught how to do this is you put a level on your brake rotor, and as you're leveling it, you want it to be just slightly cambered out, because the suspension's a full droop right now. Once you get wheels and tires on it and it all settles back down, it should come up to basically center. And you'll want to, once you have the wheels and tires back on the RZR and it's sitting on the ground, the suspension's settled, you want to have a look and make sure that you're pretty close, but this should get you 99% of the way there. Alright guys, so we just finished up our install on the Deviant Race Parts high clearance radius rod kit. It actually turned out to be a pretty simple install. Deviant's estimated install time of 1.5 hours was about dead on, and that's with very simple hand tools. We didn't use air tools or anything like that. It does definitely help to have an extra set of hands, but it's very manageable if it's just you doing it by yourself. Remember, you can pick these things up from our website, revolutionor.com. We've got these things in stock, ready to ship. We look forward to getting this thing out on the trail and seeing how much abuse these things can take.